Right. Hey, everybody, and welcome to the Thanks, But No One Asked You podcast where storytelling meets unsolicited advice. And today I am joined by my guest, Mr. Stevo Dingle, running for city council, y'all.
That's right. That's right. Stephen Dingle running for city council in District 11, Southwest Atlanta specifically.
Boop. And those city, just to be clear, the area is West End, Pittsburgh, Cascade Heights, and Adair Park. Is that, do I have that right?
No, that sounds like
Oh, God.
District 4, but because that's Southwest Atlanta, it's parts of Southwest Atlanta.
Delete that.
Yeah, so there's parts of Southwest Atlanta that is called the SWATs. Like we don't call like Oakland City or West End SWATs per se, which is Southwest Atlanta too strong.
Yeah.
So I am part of Cascade, but my part stops at Johnny White Park, and then it goes into the area you're talking about, the West End, etc. So mine is, you can say Cascade, Taniski Lake, Greenbrier, Camilton Road, Adams Park, the Atlanta part of Camp Creek. And then we have a new part of Benicia Hills. There's been a little redistricting. So we have Benicia Hills in District 11 down.
Wow. Okay. Well, you heard it here first. Do not listen to Google or ChatGPT. Just ask the source. Okay, y'all ask the source.
Go.
All right. So Stevo, can I call you Stevo? Are we okay with that?
Yeah, when I'm in, I definitely, everybody has to know Stephen Dingle for the ballot to vote for me. But once I'm elected, I'm going to be Councilman Stevo. That's all. It's fine. It's fine.
Okay, Stevo, we gotta go. We gotta do hot seat first. So this is some warm ups. All right, cool. So recently for my birthday month, I have been doing a book a day, and the series is called Read a Damn Book. And every day I recommend a book that I've read. It spans across genres, artists, race, whatever. So my question for you is, what's the last book that you read?
Oh, that's easy. I just finished it yesterday. Carl Ware's Portrait of an American Businessman.
Talk to me about it.
Yeah, Carl Ware is so crazy. So I don't know where to start because we have such a connection, indirectly. So he's an American businessman from Newnan County, but he's from Atlanta. He's lived in South Carolina for a while. But he used to be a senior executive at Coca-Cola. Like he really, in marketing, and then he really branded Coca-Cola in Africa. Like that's what he's known for. But he graduated from Clark College. I went to Clark Atlanta University. He has a building there that's named after him and his wife, Carla Merriwear Building. So everybody knows that building. His granddaughter went there at the same time I did. My uncle, Larry Dingle, who passed, unfortunately, a couple of years ago, they were best friends. So, like, it's just a lot of connections. They both were capitalists. I'm saying my uncle was a lawyer. So when you, like my uncle has the committee room in City Hall for City Council named after him. So Larry Dingle, how we're best friends. So there's just a lot of connections. So this book is his memoir, just talking about how he grew up, a Georgia boy, going to Clark College, becoming a senior executive, becoming friends with Nelson Mandela. It's just everything. It's such an inspiring story to know that somebody, I always say Atlanta walked the same streets as you and made these things happen. Yeah. And it's impacted me going to a college that bears his name. It just was even more inspiring, the fact that I have a direct connection.
That's amazing. So now you know you need to write a book.
I slick wrote one book of poems, but I do want to write a novel one day.
Okay. But you got to write a memoir.
One day, maybe. I got a lot more living to do. Okay. But maybe I'm not counseling it out.
That's fair. I feel so. The reason I did the read a damn book thing is because I'm of the belief I don't read nonfiction books. I don't like to read them a whole lot because I like narrative. And so memoirs are one of the most impactful books, in my opinion, because I want to live vicariously through someone else. Because whatever you're going through, in my opinion, whatever you're going through, someone else has actually already been through. It's not new. It's too many years have passed. Too many billions of people have been on the planet. It doesn't look exactly the same, but somebody's already walked through the fire you're walking through right now. And you kind of need that direction, guidance, and advice that someone else around you doesn't have, but memoirs hold that. So that's really awesome.
100%. I couldn't agree.
Okay, great. We're off to a good start. So we're both, I forgot about this question. So I used to be a teacher. I used to work in education in Harlem. So we know where this goes. I was a dean, a vice principal, and a fourth grade teacher.
Wow.
Yeah.
You like Ron Clark?
I love Ron Clark. So turns out he was working in East Harlem when I was in Harlem, and I didn't know.
Look at that.
Yeah. So crazy. I used to watch his little dance videos when I was a teacher, when he was already down here. It's crazy. The whole Ron Clark thing is crazy. But my kids are now graduating college, which is wild. But I'm about to start interviewing them because I want to know what they remember about me. And the only thing I'm freaking out about is, are they going to talk about the craziest punishments that I used to do? So my question for you is, what's the wildest punishment Don't get fired now. What's the wildest punishment that you can share that you've ever given out?
Oh, in the classroom, the wildest punishment. Um, I really, because I haven't been teaching that long. I just started in November of last year, so there really hasn't been anything that I've directly seen. I wish there was an interesting story, but
you have kids.
Yeah, I have kids. Yeah,
All
I
right,
have 3 kids.
let's go with one of them.
Woo! Hey,
We're creative. We're creative.
I haven't done it. I have threatened my children with, if you do drugs, you steal, become a delinquent, what that is all encompassing with a lot of committing a crime, so like steal from somebody or breaking in the home or carjacking, you are getting kicked out of the house. Like I'm not having a delinquent living in my home. Like, and I give them that ultimatum to say, I love you, but if you find doing drugs or breaking into someone's home more valuable than having a roof over your head, you told me all I need to know about you.
Ooh.
Like, so you're my child and I love you, but if you are saying, you know what, doing drugs, it's worth it. I'm gonna make you live with it's worth it. So I haven't had to do that yet. I hope I never have to do it, but I have laid those ground rules to say, like, you have an option: roof over your head or do these delinquent things. And so far, my kids are good.
I know that's right. Look, I love it. I love that he said, "You show me who you are."
Correct.
I think I know you, but maybe I don't. Awesome. Okay, so you were in the music industry.
Yeah, I'm not retired. I'm still.
Oh, you are in the music industry.
Yeah, so I still have. Yeah.
In what way? What path?
So I still manage artists and I still help out producers here and there. So I actually, while we're here, my artist has a show tonight. Her name's Sakura. So I still manage her. Yeah, so it's in the North Highlands.
Okay.
So still managing talent, still, like I said, producers. I don't have any producer clients right now, but people still call and say, who's recording? Can I get in? So I still make plays happen. So I still, and look, a lot of my campaign has been relying on a lot of my industry friends. So if you've seen me speak at the Trap Karaoke or Hell Yeah Comedy Show or something like that, that's my music industry friends, saying, come speak, come on, Stevo, come for, your campaigns.
Yes. Get those people outside and pose.
Yeah, exactly.
All right. Well, in the vein that you're still in music, 90s hip hop or 90s R&B? There is a right answer there is a right answer before he answers you.
I'll take 90s R&B. Yeah, I'll take 90s R&B.
What's your favorite artist? Top 3 artists that you can think about.
From 90s R&B or just no?
90s R&B.
I guess you can still put Usher in there.
Yeah.
It was, of course, Atlanta. Escape.
Okay.
90s. Oh, and Whitney.
Man, R.I.P.
Yeah,
she's an OG, triple OG. Dang, okay. And the last one, Hot C, back to education. What do you think, in a perfect world, if you could wave a magic wand, what would the salary of a teacher be today?
Just in a perfect world, I would say, I think 75,000 a year would be. Because I have so much respect for teachers. Like I said, I don't know how feasible that is. Do not hold me to that. Say, I heard you say it, make it happen. There's a lot of things, tax money. There's a lot of things at play. But you said perfect world.
See, let me rephrase the question. If knowing what you know about teaching, forget about what rules are in place and what's possible. You wave a magic wand, you're like, I'm gonna get rid of everything and every rule. I'm deciding what all teachers should be paid that are good quality. What's that number?
I mean, I'm basing it in reality too. Like,
don't base it in reality.
Okay, just the job is what it is.
Delusional.
Okay, we're delusional. Okay.
What's the value?
Yeah, definitely over 6 figures for sure.
Right.
Definitely over 6 figures. If I'm just basing the job, just like there's no reference point. I just see the job, I see what it takes, what's required, and I'm like, they deserve this. And the time it takes and the work that y'all do after hours.
Listen,
man, I see my wife at the computer till midnight doing. Yeah. I'm like, oh my mom watch her growing up when they have physical papers, just graded papers into the night, falling asleep with papers on her chest. Yeah, let's say 125.
I know that's right.
Yeah, 125.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, because I will tell you, my mouth dropped when you said 75.
Because I was trying to do something like, is it kind of possible? Could I fight for 125? That's like, I don't know. I'm hopeful. Maybe one, but that's for just entry teacher, somebody graduates from college, enters the workforce. 120.
Yeah, there's a negative ROI actually with all of the mandates. And I was actually talking about this with two friends who have an ed tech kind of startup Substack and now podcast. They were like, there is a negative ROI with all the mandates that are required for a teacher to have a master's degree, a bachelor's, certifications, recertifying your certifications, blah, blah, blah. There's a negative ROI. It's almost impossible to climb out of debt if you've paid for it. They, of course, have the forgiveness policy, which I hope is still in place.
I would like to, I substitute. My wife does, like, she constantly is getting more certificates, more degrees.
Yeah,
maybe for that reason, but also to increase her pay as well. So, listen, I just substitute just to, help out. And next, I did that before I started campaigning. So, I need to know I was going to be here. So, I just really want to just serve. But yeah, for her, and my mom, they both just have gotten degrees in the midst of being teachers.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Go get their bachelor's, then get their master's, then teaching, get their bachelor's, they realize, like, no, I need something else and get more certificates and things like that.
It's crazy. I don't know how people are doing it. So that begs the question. You said 75 would be a perfect number. What are teachers getting paid today in Georgia?
Wow. I'm not going to say that, no, this is the average.
Okay.
But I know there are teachers who are getting paid like 40 to 50. Like, I know that's a real salary.
Yeah.
It could be lower, but I know there are teachers being paid 40 to 50,000 a year. And I know teachers who are getting 80, but they have a master's degree, several certificates,
That's crazy.
and things like that. Or they work for a private school who they can determine how they pay their own teachers and staff. So there's a lot of that's why I was like 75 is like, I know some private school teachers that are getting that, and I know some charter school teachers that are getting that. That's what I'm like, if I can make it all teachers, that's like a reasonable number. But like you said, let's get kind of crazy. So that's why I jumped up. But yeah, so.
No, as you should. Okay. Well, we'll since, I don't want to make people think, because, people like to click things up and be like, oh, he said.
But I will.
He doesn't know, y'all. He does not know.
I have no problem advocating for higher pay for teachers, though. I can say that. I will advocate very clearly. Yeah, that is something I definitely. There you go. I'm saying that's 75, 125. I'm sorry, I can't guarantee that, but I definitely want to advocate for teachers to get paid.
Okay, cool. All right, so now we've done the hot seat. Thank you, survived. You made it out. We're gonna jump into some questions about you. I'm gonna ask a little bit about a story, and then we're gonna play a game called This or That at the end. Okay, so first and foremostly, for people who do not know you, because most of my friends are from New York, Ohio, Seattle, all the different cities I've lived in, they don't know who Stevo is. Tell us about who Stevo is.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm born and raised here in the metro Atlanta area, born in East Point. Parents, were married, had me moved down to Henry County. It's about 35, 40 minutes south, depending upon the traffic, to McDonough, Georgia. And then they split in the early 2000s. My dad moved back to Southwest Atlanta. East Point touches Southwest Atlanta.
Yeah.
So back in Southwest Atlanta, right by Greenbrier Mall. So I've been back and forth my whole life. So when people say you get out of Atlanta and you're in Georgia, I know that experience, and then I know the Atlanta experience as well. So then when I attended graduate high school, Henry County High School, which is now McDonough High School, I attended Clark Atlanta University. And I've been in Southwest Atlanta, firmly planted, license as the address since 2008, since I got to college. I had a child young, so I never stayed on campus. So that's why I've stayed in Southwest Atlanta since I attended college. So I've been a father for a long time. My daughter's a senior in high school now. But going to Clark Atlanta, one of the best decisions I've ever made. So many relationships built, the AUC, Morehouse, Spelman. I didn't have Morris Brown, had ITC. ITC is still there, but yeah, now Moby's back. But yeah, that's when I really built my chops with relationships and decided what I wanted to do. I was a sociology major.
Okay.
But then the music stuff popped off for me. I had an artist I was managing named Milo Smith, who went to Georgia State. And her career, we hit the ground running around 2012 when I was wrapped up in school. And then I ended up managing OG Maco. That's what a lot of people know me for.
Okay.
And he unfortunately just passed last December, so rest in peace. But he had the song You Guessed It. And we that summer 2014, I know I'm moving fast, but to 2014, he actually met me from managing Milo, because they both were at Georgia State. And he had motion all his own at Georgia State. It was crazy. And that's where everybody was tearing up the Edgewood scene and department store and going crazy with that. And then me and the sign of quality control music with P and Coach K. But they had the Migos. They just had Migos, Johnny Cinco, and Rich the Kid, Skip the Flip at the time. No Yachty, no City Girls, no Little Baby yet.
Yeah.
But so I like to say that we were like the second or third major act that came. Everybody knew the Migos, Rich the Kid. Cinco had a record, but Maco coming when You Guessed It. It was crazy. So then I worked over there for a while. Managed OG Parker from OG Maco. The relationship just kept going. Ended up managing another producer, Romano. and it just kept on going. Magic Collision and Quality Control. Got some more producers, then started my own label and production company, Stay Lowe Entertainment. That's all with the artists out of Ohio, named Chelsea Pastel. Ended up working with Sakura, Kitty Mason, just a lot of things. So it just since 2012, I've been in music, managing a lot of talent, sold a lot of records, like from work with Migos, Chris Brown, Megan Thee Stallion. We just, I just go down the list.
That's crazy.
But yeah, that's just a quick synopsis. And I've always been involved in the community through it all. So through artist management, you're always trying to help somebody reach their dream.
Yeah.
It's a lot of sacrifice. I've traveled the world through it, which is a blessing, 20 different countries.
Wow.
And yeah, man, but through all of that, everybody who knows me knows that I'm an avid reader. I'm always going to look out for my friends' children. Like I said, I've done community things, whether it be clean up or start a book club or watching friends' kids when they go out of town. They can just always come over to my house. I just try to be a community focused guy through my profession, through my everyday life as well. So that's why when everybody saw me make this step, it's kind of like, that's so you. Yeah, that's so you.
Awesome. And that's the best kind of person you want in office anyway. Somebody who's already entrenched and has been there for a long time. Versus someone like me who's a transplant who has a lot of opinions.
I'm happy to have you.
Thank you. Okay, so I want to back up a little bit because I find that people who have already reached a certain level of success kind of just say, stay the course. They tell younger people, stay the course, you could do it, stay focused, grind, grind, grind. But we never talk about the setbacks. And so when youth are going through setbacks, it feels isolating for them. And what I try to tell kids when I'm working with them is that there are supposed to be setbacks. It's a part of your journey. It's about how you respond and pivot, because that's what's going to happen. So what's a major setback you had in the music industry?
Oh yeah, easy. When like OG Maco, like I said, I only had one client before him, and we didn't really make a lot of money, but we made a lot of moves. Like a lot of relationships that I built in the music industry through Milo, like people who wanted to sign her or people who were interested in her. When it came to OG Maco, I just went back and told everybody, all the A&Rs who like maybe have been assistants 2 years prior, they were now like had real positions and had signing power and things like that. So like through that, I had a lot of relationships built. So then Maco's my biggest client. That's then, this is my job. I'm providing for my child with this. Like I'm paying my bills with the money. But when we got off tour from that 16, 17 country tour, we came back and we separated. We were still cool. It wasn't an amicable breakup, but it wasn't disrespectful. We just had to go our separate ways. And from there, that's when I kind of was out of the music business. The only client I had was OG Parker, the producer. And so I went back I was serving tables, but I was managing the studio at QC. So I was working with quality control still, but I was working the studio whenever I could, to going to wait tables and toggle mat whenever I could.
Dang.
So I didn't have and Parker was like buzzing. He wasn't the superstar producer he is today, but then he caught a hit with Chris Brown and Migos Slippery on the first album, first album. And then the Chris Brown Pills and Automobiles came. And then, all the publishers and publishing companies kept calling. Yeah. And then once we get the deal, I was able to okay, yeah. I'm good. I can leave the taco back and serving tables behind. And that was about a year. So like for me, I have a child to take care of. Like I don't have an ego about going back to work. Yeah. That's outside of music. So for that was my setback to where I started working with Maco, and I was like, I gotta go get a regular job. Yeah. And then luckily, working with the talented artist and my partner, Melita, right at the time, was A&R at Warner. We both will come at you. Like I said, he got popular. And I was able to jump back in 2 feet, back in the music business. So
that's awesome. And I like what you said about there's a humility that has to exist when you're an entrepreneur.
100%.
There's a level, like you will be humbled. And I've been humbled so many times, and I'm like, oh, I can do this. Like I've been in hard places, and then I started this business, and I was humbled 2 months in. And I think sometimes too, and maybe you experience this, people who see you in a certain light assume things come easy to you, and they project that on you, and then you start to feel delusional too. Like people are like, oh, well, you play ball and you come on and do. So people just knocking down your door to give you business. Where?
Mm-hmm.
Where are they? I don't see it because they don't exist. That's not how it goes. You got to get it out the mud and be consistent and show up. My accolades in my resume. How you see me is how you see me. How I show up every day is the only thing that's going to get me. to the money. I mean, have you experienced that?
Yeah, or even a version of because they project who you are, that you don't need any help too. Like that's another
Yeah,
thing.
that
Like
too.
because
Who's
you've
gonna
done
get
what
it?
you've done, you got it. You
Yeah,
got, and not knowing like I could use some help.
yeah,
Like I know I make it look good. I know
yeah,
what I've done in the past, but like it's peaks and valleys. And
yeah,
oftentimes you made that peak or that whatever top that top looks so good that when you're in the valley, a lot of people can't tell. So
yeah.
oftentimes I've had that as well. Like I think I'm gonna keep it real. I think people were like with this campaign and having to raise money. I think a lot of people feel like you sold me as a regular. Like you see what you got it. Like when I
Got
post
it.
the fundraising stuff, like I think a lot of people just like you got it. Like, and I mean, I understand, but it's just like even if I did have it, this is a whole separate thing like that. That's just part of the game and part of winning elections. So I think I'm experiencing that right now.
Yeah. Yeah, getting help. And Bam and I talked about this. You know, he's doing it's going better now, guys. For those of you who want to recap, his raise is going great. But
There we
when
go,
he was
man.
on the show, he was pissed. Like people not supporting it. And I told him, I said, I don't think it's a black or white thing. I think it's just a proximity thing. I think it's just what people see and perceive. They don't think you need help. And then if you're not used to asking for help, it's just this vicious cycle of you sitting down here. So that's probably one of the first things I got out of real quick was like, no, I'm asking for help. I threw an event just to ask for help. I was like, I'm gonna spend a little bread, I'm gonna invite a bunch of people out, and I'm gonna do a little speech and be like, here's what I need. Thank you so much for coming. That was not the ask. Coming was not the ask. The ask is this. I need introductions, I need invitations, I need gigs. I need those things. And it was well received. And I think just coming out and saying I need help from jump, it is so much easier for me to continue to ask for help because people see you're building and I want to help you build. Um, so
I agree.
cut. Okay, so let's talk about your job now, what you're running for. District 11. I'm not gonna go down the list of names because I'm gonna mess it up, but I know West End is in there. Shout out to Lee and White. Let's talk about city council members, and I am directly asking questions right now targeting the younger population because I find the younger population is everybody complains about them, but we don't engage them for real. We don't explain it to them like it makes sense. So explain it to me like I'm 10. What does a city council member do?
Yeah, so a city council member, specifically Atlanta, because maybe council members have different responsibilities elsewhere, but Atlanta, the one, they're the legislative body. So just how you think of Congress and the president signs off, or government, state legislators, we create the legislation for the city. It's called ordinances and resolutions, but we create the laws for the
Okay.
city, and then the mayor will sign off just like a president would. So we create the laws. Also, we control the budget. So even the mayor's office, every department, and they just had it in June or July. I'm sorry if I'm messing up, but it definitely was this
July 1 was the fiscal year.
Yeah, so
I know that.
yeah, so every department had to come before city council and present their case of saying, this is how much money we need to have a successful year, from the fire department to watershed to public works to the mayor's office, parks and rec, like any department that is city funded, they all had to come sit at the desk like a courtroom and talk to the city council and say, hey, we need X amount, $5 million for the fire department. I'm making up that number.
Yeah.
We need $5 million for our salaries, for the trucks, whatever they state itemized. This is what we need it for. This is how many jobs we have. And city council will say, okay, we didn't have that many fires. You can actually take that down to $4 million. Like it's up to us to determine what Atlanta's usage is, and all of that, and we determine the budget for the city. So when they passed a $3 billion budget for Atlanta, which is the most expensive budget Atlanta's ever passed, city council decided that.
Okay.
And then the last thing is like we're like mini mayors of our district as well.
Got it.
Before you have a complaint to the mayor, it's smart to call your city council person. Also, they can be an advocate to where if you can't get it done or they can't get it done, like now you have yourself, whatever coalition you have, your neighbors, whatever it is, your city council person. Now y'all go to the mayor rather than just skipping your city council person and going to the mayor. He may ignore you. I can't speak for Andre, but like the question may be, well, did you talk to? And then if he says no, he might shoot you back down and say, well, go talk to them before you talk to me. So it's just smart to go to your city council person when you're having an issue. And then, like I say, if it's something that's above their pay grade, they'll go to the mayor. But now you have an advocate to go to the mayor. You have a direct line to somebody who works directly with them.
Yeah.
So those are the three main things: budget, creating the legislation, And like I said, they're kind of like the mini mayors of the district.
That's dope.
Yeah.
Okay, I didn't even really know all of that. So that's really cool. Now let's say I'm 25 and I'm like, I'm gonna do city council stuff. Where do I begin?
When you say do city council stuff, are you just talking about like
I'm speaking as a 25-year-old.
Yeah,
I
if
want to
I-
be a part of city council. What is that like? How do I decide how do I get started?
yeah, in my opinion, of course, like I said, I was in music, but everything I did, like community focused. I like if somebody was going back to school, I would volunteer. If somebody had an event, like I would always just want to be a part of something. So you can create your own organization or have your own events. And that's one way to do it because you're going to build relationships with people, especially that if you live in the district that you're working, you're having these events and that you're volunteering for. So that's one way just to build a Rolodex of people who are going to be involved if you decide to run. But if I was 25 and I could just advise someone, I would say get to know as many departments of the city as you can. So like you go walk at your local park, just walk in. Like for us, we have Abbas Park, we have recreation, we have William Walker Recreation in Ben Hill, and we have the YMCA, Andrew Walter Young on Kennedy Road. Like you can just walk in these buildings and ask to speak with the manager, get to know the employees and get to know people in these places and find out how Parks and Recs work. Like they'll talk to you.
Yeah.
And that's why I've learned on the campaign trail outside of just me being a people person. I've just gone into Fulton County libraries and just ask, how's it work? Can I get a library here and take it to not Sandy Springs, but another part of Atlanta? Because the library system is Fulton County. So can I go? Yeah, so Sandy Springs, I think it's in Fulton. So can I drop this book off there if I'm there? We'll have to just figuring out things. So that when you decide to run for city council, you kind of understand how each department works. So even when you check your water bill, the watershed, you have to call someone and figure out, go through ATL 311 and figure out how that works. All these things that your constituents are going to ask you about.
Right.
Like, hey, Steve, I got this problem. I call ATL 311. They didn't do this. So if you know, I used to call ATL 311. I know what it does.
I have about 19 logs. One case just closed this morning for a pothole.
How you know about those case numbers? See, even knowing that is a benefit. So I would just tell them, like, really get involved and figure out things. And sometimes, maybe even if you don't have a problem, just call and see. Like, they're supposed to answer. So you could just say, hey, I'm running a pothole, but they call ATL 311 to see. Why not? So that's one thing I know that will give you an advantage by just knowing how the departments function.
And I love what I heard from all of that was, then there's a gap that we kind of need to close. This generation that's younger has everything on their phone. And I think the art of just building natural, genuine, in-person relationships is not happening as much. And for those of you listening, he's talking about physically going places.
Yes.
Having conversations in person, not going on ChatGPT, not Googling, trying to get information. Go talk to people because relationships drive everything at the end of the day. So I love that. Thank you for giving that advice. Also business owners, let me tell you right now, because when people say, how do you get your clients? I cold call and people are in shock. Like, how many people you calling? About 40 to 50 people a week. I'm not above it. It's the only way for me to really know something, because you can go online and see something and it will deter you or make you think something when all the information is not there. Going into the space and talking to people, I can't believe I'm having to explain this, but going to talk to humans, guys, is the best way to get a lot of things done. And I think it's an art form that we kind of, listen, you want to make some money, teach people how to go talk to people. That's all I'm going to say. That was free.
I agree.
That was free. I might do it starting today. I have a discount. No. Okay. So so now it's story time. Well, actually, let me back up. What are 3 concerns that you want to address or that you say are in your platform? Maybe you have 10, but give me 3 that are on your platform right now for city council.
It was funny how you started this off, because when we talked about books, education with a specific focus on literacy is big for me. So I know I'm not running for school board, but I want to work with all the school board members, parents, school themselves, administration staff, and just figure out how to increase our literacy, the proficiency rates, because we graduated the most students in Atlanta history this past year. Andre reminds us that as much as possible, but our proficiency rates, especially in our majority Black schools, were not up to par. It was some schools I was seeing like 10% literacy, 11% proficiency. They graduated, But that's, to me, that's just unacceptable. So education and with a focus on literacy is a big thing.
Okay.
Public safety is a big thing, and really come up with creative ways to figure out how to truly keep Atlantans safe. And really, this is unpopular in my opinion. Like, I just haven't seen a lot of people say it because, people want to get elected, so they want to say what people want to hear. We have to find a unique combination of legislation and culture. Like, some of these things, like, are not, the police can't prevent someone from breaking in your car. Like, these aren't preventative crimes. Like, you could have police sit on your corner, but you can't have police in every single corner of every single home. So, but how do we deter people from wanting to break in someone's car? So it's finding creative ways to, whether it's making sure the kids got something to do. I'm not saying kids are all doing it, but I
have an opinion on that. I'm gonna let you
look. So yeah, find out, getting kids more, busy, basketball, sports, book club, whatever it is, after school program, keeping them busy, because we know idle time, the devil playground. But also, people who may not have employment, who may just be desperate and looking for things, like giving them employment, providing better jobs. But you do have to work with police as well and figuring out. To me, I want to do a community walkthrough where we maybe knock on doors with policemen, so where you're less likely to, even if I do have to arrest you, if I know this is Miss Jackie's son, I'm not going to get rough with Miss Jackie, because Miss Jackie got to see you. Whatever that is, whether you're going at Burger King or you're at church, or you got to come to your door knocking once a month. That I would hope to do something like that. That we're like, dang, I heard what Miss Jackie's doing. I jacked her son up there. Yeah. But I wanted to do come up with creative ways, like I said, to keep people safe and also correct the culture to say, to discourage them from even doing these acts.
Yeah.
So public safety is another one. And then also on my side of town, increasing economic development infrastructure. So another thing I want to do, if I could do it day one or early on, is get with the Department of Transportation and Public Works, and just, if we get a golf cart or a car, just walk around or ride around the district and figure out, how do we make sure the infrastructure is up to par? Roads are paved, street signs are working, signs are there. Yes. Like, this is something, no matter what class you're part of, whether you're Section 8 or you live in a mini mansion, you deserve to have clean streets and signs working. Like, that's just basic needs. And then bringing job opportunities to Southwest Atlanta without displacement. That's my phrase I use. Upliftment without displacement. Southwest Atlanta deserves nice things.
Yes.
We love Greenbrier Mall. We love Camp Creek. We love Capitol Road and Cascade. But we deserve to have things where we don't have to come to Midtown if we don't want to.
Right.
I love Midtown. I love Atlantic Station. I love, like, all that. But yeah, I love it.
People want to stay in their own neighborhood. That's what a neighborhood is.
Exactly. So we deserve amenities, things like that too. So just want to bring that. And also that just brings jobs for people that goes back to public safety. Yeah. They're busy and they're working in their communities. Nobody has time to commit these crimes and harm other people. Yeah. So those are my three things.
Okay, dope. So education, I'm gonna just double down on that.
Yeah.
I've been on a soapbox for the past few weeks, just having been a teacher. I've lost, I think 3 students have lost their lives, former students, from just being delinquents, quite frankly, just getting into stuff, making poor decisions. And, it sucks because a former student will call me and have to tell me, and we'll also kind of sit there like, well, we saw this coming. We tried to do everything, but you can only do so much as a classroom teacher, and parents who are working a lot can only do so much there. And it's that middle space, it's that community space that you're talking about, that after school programming, the clubs, the volunteering, things for them to do. And so my point is just that I've been on a soapbox about, people don't want to invest in education. People don't want to invest in paying teachers. Go ahead. Keep not investing in them. Your crime is only going to go up.
I think we're seeing
period
of that.
Period, full stop. If I don't have a next step after high school, what do you think I'm going to do with my time? If school gets out at 2:30, 3 o'clock, and my parent doesn't get home till 7 p.m., what do you think I'm going to do with my time? What did y'all do between y'all's time? They're so obviously correlated, and it's very frustrating to see people kind of like sweep education to the side. And mind you, I think 40 or 50% of my taxes are going to education. So I don't know where the money's going. Yeah. I'm gonna leave it at that.
APS has $2 billion, almost $2 billion. But I think it's like 1.8 or something like that.
I don't know what we're doing with this money, y'all, but please get these kids to reading and graduating and going to a workforce development center or college or community college. I don't care, but give them something to do. Because if you don't, your car is going to get broken into, your house is going to get broken into, an old person is going to be assaulted. It's just what happens. And has nothing to do with race. It has everything to do with idle time and the prefrontal cortex. This is science. It's just not developed. So, okay.
Hey, I'm with you.
I was on that soapbox. I got a little dizzy up there. All right, I'm done. But so this is a shameless plug for me now. I have a 12-week sprint that I've been proposing across the city, and I'm just waiting on somebody to pick it up. It's a 12-week sprint of just leadership development skills, right? And it applies whether you're going to college or whether you're going to workforce development or whether you don't know what you want to do, but you need to know how to show up in different places. So everybody wants to talk about resumes and LinkedIn. That stuff is cute. It's not really like all the way necessary all the time. What I need you to know how to do is when there's a group of 3 people over there and there's somebody you want to talk to, how do you do that?
Right.
Like it feels like the most basic of stuff, but things that no one teaches you, you have to like kind of figure out. I teach those soft skills, right? This email came through. You don't check email. Well, let's talk about habits that you need to start developing. 1, checking email daily. What does that look like? 1, responding a certain way. What does that look like? How to ask for help, how to be proactive, like these intangible things that people complain about. I want to give kids a project to work on, and that's all we're doing is knocking out those intangible things so that you can apply it anywhere else. Yeah. But
I
anyway,
think that's extremely valuable. Me having a quick story after her softball game yesterday, we go to Zaxby's and she's like, that girl goes to my school. And I'm like, you going to speak? Like, no. Why do I do? I'm like, you speak. And then next she's like, we don't speak at school. Why do I speak now? I'm like, that could lead to you all speaking. And then you don't know what either you all are going to be in life. Like, you're just totally dismissing the opportunity that could come from just speaking to someone.
just talk.
And so those things I know firsthand are valuable. Like, I try to teach my daughter, but sometimes it takes somebody else.
It takes someone else to say it, which is why I'm like, y'all need me to come do it. Here's why, because I'm funny. And 2, because I'm not playing about it. Like, I'm not going to just tell you and you walk away. It's like, no, I'm going to tell you and now we're going to go practice. Here we go. We're going over here and we're going to go do it. And then I'm also sharing my stories of times where I didn't mess it up and got better because they need that relatability too. But yeah, I think there's an assumption that they're just going to figure it out. And a lot of them don't. And then you got 40-year-olds walking around like knuckleheads.
Yep.
You know, I ain't got time for it. Walking around with listening to your TikToks with no headphones. Stop doing it.
Oh boy, I got to worry about that too.
It's inconsiderate. Stop doing it. Okay, I'm gonna move forward. All right, now let's get into how much time do I have, sir? You like this with me. You're not gonna edit this part out. I want them to know that I'm mad at the man in the back. Okay, now we're gonna play this or that. It's not really a game, but it's an opportunity for you to give unsolicited advice. I'm going to give you 2 groups and you're going to pick one.
Okay.
And you got 30 seconds to just lay it down.
Yeah.
All right. 20-year-olds or 40-year-olds?
40-year-olds.
Okay. Go for it.
Oh, you got to explain why?
You got to give them unsolicited advice.
Give them advice. I'm sorry. I got to give the 40-year-olds advice. I should say 20-year-olds.
You can say 20.
Okay, I didn't know I was giving. I thought it was just I kind of a fire around. So okay, yeah, 20-year-olds. Yeah, just kind of almost to the sprint that you were talking about. Just making sure they have the tools and they're equipped with something to make sure that they are productive in their life. You don't have to be a millionaire, billionaire, but you need to have tools to go and become a productive citizen of society. Be respectful. Be able to speak up for yourself. Be responsible. These are things that just every adult needs to have. So being 20 and not hitting that 21 market, not that 25 market, I just think that's a perfect time to really just hone in on your craft and really just equip yourself with as much tools as possible.
How can they do that?
Yeah, read. What like we were talking about. To me, find somebody from your hometown or your home state to where like when you read the book, a memoir or biography or even autobiography, and they talk about like where they grew up or the streets they walked or the school they went to, you have a direct reference point to say, wow, I went to that store. I know that street. And it just reinforces that you can do it too because they were where you were at. So I'm always going to suggest reading. Always.
Which brings us back to the literacy rate. APS, we're going to need that budget to get some programming. Okay. I would like for you to give unsolicited advice for native Atliens or transplants like myself.
Ooh, okay. I'm gonna choose transplants.
Uh-oh.
I would say, which I think Atlanta transplants do a great job, except for people from New Orleans, is is the best transplants. And I think this goes for anybody who transplants, but Atlanta transplants just seem to do it so well. is that they understand where they're coming to. Like they appreciate what Atlanta is, whether it be based on our historic values and what we come with, or they just are looking at it in more contemporary times. It's like they want to come to Atlanta and add value to Atlanta. I don't see a lot of transplants that come try to like suck Atlanta dry and take things back home, which is, we all want to look out for home. But it seems like Atlanta transplants always seem to come and like, how do I figure out how to weave inside and really truly add value to Atlanta, where if somebody else comes, they see me, I'm just adding to the resume of Atlanta.
Yeah.
So although you may be from a different place and you're proud of it, is that you still add to what Atlanta has to offer. And I feel like transplants fully understand that. So my advice would be, if you're one of those people who think you're going to come down here and just take over, I'm telling you, it will benefit you more to just get down with the get down, and let's help make Atlanta the best city it can be with what you're bringing from wherever you're from. But I think Atlanta's do well, but that's just advice to anybody who thinks I'm coming to Atlanta and take over. Like, you don't have to do, like, you could be successful without doing that. Like, there's a joke. Specifically for people from New York. It's like, man, New York people don't run nothing but cop code because Mr. Rudd's from New York. But this is a joke. But even Mr. Ruggs has created several businesses in Atlanta that have become Atlanta staples, which we appreciate him for. We all know he's in New York. We know that, but we still value him because he understands that he adds value to the city that we all appreciate.
There's a lot of opportunity here.
For
and
sure.
like you said, there's actually a lot of people to collaborate with and want to collaborate. And I really like that. I know every time I say that, someone always goes, nah, people out here trying to, depends on who you're talking to. Depends on where you're going. Everywhere that I have been, just spent all day at ATV today. What an amazing, just general environment. Like, I sat through advisor hours. I'm an advisor up there twice a month. And just the fact that people are asking for help, and then the help that they're asking for is for introductions. That mindset alone just breeds a collaborative space. And it's like, it's way easier to navigate to. Just help each other out. Okay. Parents or teachers?
I'll talk to the parents.
Okay.
I'll talk to the parents. We got a lot of work to do, parents. Our teachers are really, even though they're the paid professionals.
Barely paid.
Yeah, barely paid. We'll say that. They need our help. And this goes back to my thing about legislation. Like, teachers have a job to do. They have their curriculum. They know how to control the classroom. They know how to teach our children. But it's a culture thing for us that we have to send our children to school being the most prepared and, again, well-equipped behavior-wise, being respectful, being responsible, being on time, respecting authority, things like that, where we have a lot of parents who their children can do no wrong. We love our kids, but we have to be, what your kids do. Say, I get the calls, hey, your daughter was getting smart. You get smart at home. So I love you, and I would defend you with my life, but they're describing exactly what you do at home.
Yeah.
So a lot of our parents, we can't be in denial about who our kids are and understand that it's more important for them to, like I said, to learn these lessons now before they go in the real world and get hit really hard and we can't save them.
Yes.
So for parents, I would just say we don't have to be the smartest. Like, they go to school to pay professionals, but we do need to make sure they have the tenets of what makes a respectable and productive human, because we're preparing them for the real world. Our raising is preparing adults for the real world.
Yeah.
Like, that's what raising children is. We're raising them to be adults. So we just have to make sure they understand the tenets, like I said, being respectful, being on time, being responsible. And then I said the teachers, that's when I will throw my hands up and say, hey, you're the educator. You know more than I do in this realm. So you got that part, but I will make sure my children have those other tenets that I just described. So parents, let's just lock in on that at bare minimum to make sure our teachers can do their jobs to the best of their ability.
Thank you. We're going to put that across all TV channels.
That's
Okay, we're wrapping our show up. I want to thank you so much for coming here.
Brit,
This
thank
is dope.
you. No, thank you. Thank you. If I wasn't, my knees were busted, I'd say let's hoop next time.
No,
But,
we're on. Enough already. What is the call to action that you have for people? What do you want them to do? Whether it's fundraising, come out and vote, maybe a door knock. What is it you want people to do?
No, I'm not gonna lie. Fundraising for me is very, very important because I'm outside. I can get in front of a lot of crowds, a lot of people. I'm door knocking. the effort is not in question, but fundraising definitely. So I can take care of the community in my own specific way. You know, you want to be able to maybe have a cookout. You want to be able to come to people's homes and neighborhoods and provide nourishment, go take care of the seniors. And, you know, with fundraising, you're able to provide certain things on the campaign trail, not to buy votes, but to truly show people what kind of elected official you'll be when you have resources. So fundraising is more than just, hey, I need some money to go put a poster up. It's also being able to serve people and show them what kind of elected official you will be. But besides that, money other ways, just any support, just any visible support. But no, I will say voting. All this, like, oh yeah, all the Instagram likes, all the TikTok likes, all the reposts. It's lovely and amazing. It builds awareness, but none of it matters. None of it matters if you don't give up and cast a vote at the ballot. Like, you can, I can hit 10,000 likes, but if you don't vote, I would trade 10,000 likes in for 5. Yeah, for 5 votes. No, not 5 votes. I'm like that because
better do better.
They don't mean anything. Like, if I get 10,000 likes and like, it doesn't mean anything. So I just, all the support is showing up at the ballot box and voting. So fundraising, yes, of course, but voting. Like I said, if I don't raise a lot of money, I can still put nothing in your door.
Yeah.
Like, that's the bare minimum. Even if I run out of money, I can't print any more materials, I can still show up.
Yeah.
But casting that vote.
I know that's right. Well, I vote all the time, so but this is not about me. So
I appreciate you, Britt. Yeah, even if you don't live in the
district.
It's just,
am I allowed to vote for you?
If you don't live in the district, of course.
I don't live in your district, so I'll smile.
Tell all your friends you know.
On November 4th, I'll
tell all the friends you know. That's all I can ask for, because you never know, they may live in the district. And look, as long as people go to the ballot with that energy, I may pop up. They may not know where they live and who they can vote for. But I know him.
That's right.
Okay, so
we vote for people we recognize and we see and we understand, and now they see you. So that's awesome.
There we go.
All right, appreciate you.
And I'm proud of you too. Look at that. Look at that. Ohio came to Atlanta and doing your thing.
Thank you.
Ain't no one to ask, but you know.
I'm not gonna dance. I don't want to lose my black card on this camera. All right, cool. Well, thank you so much for tuning into the podcast, y'all. We're gonna see you next time. Like and subscribe. Peace. I don't think I've ever said like and subscribe.